Are the Boston Celtics being ruined by the media? It's a question that's been on the minds of Celtics fans for quite some time now. From relentless trade rumours to negative narratives surrounding star players, it seems like the media is constantly trying to bring down one of the most storied franchises in the NBA history. But is there any truth to these claims, or are they simply the result of sensationalised headlines and hot takes? In this video, we'll take a closer look at how the media's portrayal of the Celtics is impacting the team's performance on and off the court. So get ready to dive into the complex relationship between the Boston Celtics and the media. If Jaylen Brown is selected to the NBA All-Star squad, he will remain a Celtic, and if not, the Celtics will entirely disassemble their roster. Otherwise, he's gone. It's that easy. You don't trust me? How awful things are in Boston was described by Brian Windhorst. Brown almost probably won't sign an extension with the Celtics if he isn't named an All-NBA. That's terrible. Sorry, but Brian Windhorst does not just utter statements of such kind. That is true news if he claims that Jaylen Brown is virtually certainly going. Will he therefore be named All-NBA? That looks to be significant. Only the Celtics can offer him an additional $100 million if he does. He would remain for that reason. Will it occur? It's simple to understand, yet casual admirers are unaware of Jaylen Brown's talent. He is seen by them as Jayson Tatum's adorable sidekick. It's more like Kevin Durant and Steph Curry, two MVP caliber players who are both superstars. He dunks on people possibly more so while wearing a mask than without. On defense, he holds down superstars and makes threes. Yet among men who have participated in at least 50 games, only Embiid, Giannis, Steph, Kyrie and SGA have comparable stats to Jaylen. I'm done now. While Jaylen Brown participates, the Celtics have a winning record sans Jayson Tatum. So does he want a squad of his own? It seems that he does. Shams said that the CS sent Jaylen, Derek White and picks in exchange for Kevin Durant last summer when he sought a move. Later, a video of Tatum and KD exercising together surfaced. Jaylen joined Jayson Tatum and the general manager Brad Stevens on a group FaceTime. Stevens told Brown that he was staying put, but that story did not appear out of thin air. That simply didn't feel like that was the direction of the company that it was moving in, according to Jaylen. I'm not sure it was difficult to tell Jaylen, at the very least, was treated disrespectfully. When he inquired on FaceTime, they first placed him in trade rumours and then lied to his face, after helping them get to the finals that followed. The same reports then surfaced last month, just before KD was truly ready to be dealt with. This time, Jaylen was comforted by a call from the team owner. He's now tired of it. They'll tell you one thing in front of you, but when you're not looking, they'll say something else and trade you off. If you don't enter by the front door, it's insulting where I'm from in the south. Everyone seems to want to enter by the back door or at an angle, in my opinion. Don't tell me lies. In other words, not only did the C's make a mistake by attempting to trade Jaylen, but they also repeatedly were lying to him. Now, if he has the opportunity to depart, he will, according to ESPN, but will it occur? Jaylen Brown may get a 4-year, $185 million contract from any other club, but the Celtics have the option of signing him to a 5-year, $249 million contract. Jaylen believes that the $64 million gap is insufficient to convince him to remain, but the Celtics may make an offer of a 5-year, $299 million deal if he makes the NBA All-Team. In addition, $105 million, and he will remain for that. Making it All-NBA is thus crucial. Let's assess his prospects. Finding the top 15 players in the league is the goal of the NBA All-Star Game. All-Star is heavily influenced by fan support, whereas NBA All-Star simply recognizes the top players across the conferences. For each of the 3 NBA teams, 100 members of the media vote for 2 guards, 2 forwards and a center. The main issue is that just the position with the most votes matters, regardless of whether a man receives votes as a guard or forward, or say forward and center. The other votes are all disregarded. For instance, Kyrie made the All-NBA team 2 years ago despite Jayson Tatum receiving more total votes overall due to all of his votes going to the guard position. Some of Tatum's were at the guard and others were at the forward. It's unfair. He missed out on an All-NBA and a Supermax deal as a result. Tatum lost $32 million to a voter on his couch. One guy didn't vote him simply because he doesn't like him that much as a player. Tatum said, "I believe that has to change since it could potentially cost someone $30 million. Forget about me and consider the income rookie extension players." The most absurd part is that Tatum isn't even aware that he may be taken advantage of once again. Forget about the subsequent rookie, he could lose his greatest comrade as a result. It takes place virtually yearly. Ben Simmons and Russell Westbrook received more votes in 2020 than Chris Middleton and Joel Embiid, yet Ben and Russ made the NBA All-Star team. Middleton and Embiid were not included. Will Jaylen suffer as a result of his guard and forward positions? Yeah, it's not good if he's a guard. The rivalry is insane. Guards Luka and Dame, Stephen Shear, Jaw and Spider Mitchell might make the 3 All-NBA squads. LeBron and Jaylen Brown are forwards. Embiid, Jokic and Sabonis are in centre, so there are a lot of snubs at the guard, I suppose. Just take a look at these guard snubs. You might easily argue that some of them should all be NBA players. But then take a look at the forwards. There are only 3 real forwards and 2 real centre snubs. Indeed, Anthony Davis has played 100 times at centre, but Domantas Sabonis might also be included. In that case, if any of these people are simply being idle and say, well, isn't Jaylen Brown a guard? Even if that's not the case, they vote for him at guard even though he might easily miss making the NBA All-Team. Nevertheless, it may be disastrous for the Celtics organisation if they lose him for nothing. The good news is that a sign and trade is most probably, since only the clubs who could simply acquire Jaylen for nothing for salary space all sort of suck this off season. The Atlanta Hawks are ranked first. Jaylen, who is from there, can be regarded as their finest player overall. Jaylen would fit in perfectly next to Trey and DeJounte Murray, and the transaction would be centered around John Collins' salary. The Chicago Bulls will be the next team to shift significantly this offseason. DeMar DeRozan would be the focal point of the deal, and Zach LaVine would be their number 1 player if Jaylen were seeking his club. But I adore the Pelicans of New Orleans. They might send Brandon Ingram back to Boston in a trade since they have a ton of assets to deal with. While it's not a terrific substitute for Jaylen Brown, it's an improvement over nothing. When Jaylen and Zion are both healthy, the Pels will be a serious contender. But I believe that if this occurs, Jaylen Brown would suffer the consequences. I'm aware of his ire over Boston's treatment of him, but the NBA is a business. Wherever he goes, the roster won't be nearly as talented as the Celtics. Still, the Blazers merit their video. In the NBA, Dame makes the first team. I kept him in that location, but he'll never get to the postseason. The good news is that Portland is set to have a significant offseason, and I performed a thorough analysis of everything. Look it up. Now we want to hear from you. Do you agree with our analysis that the media is playing a significant role in the Celtics' struggles, or do you think there are other factors at play? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below and keep the conversation going. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more sports analysis and commentary. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.